shut down while trying to report a fire at my high school. When I was a senior back in high school in Middle Tennessee, we had a smoking area for the students. This was 1990, so yeah, I'm old. My daughters actually just asked me to post this story here. Anyway, so I was a good student and had a great reputation among the faculty at this school of about 2,000 students. During class, I am running an errand for a teacher when I walk by the smoking area. It is outside, of course, but it is against one of the buildings and has a roof over it like a carport. There is a large metal trash can in the middle, and it is on fire. Not a rip-roaring fire, but is on fire nonetheless. We have flames starting to work their way out of there and plenty of smoke. I decide I don't need to pull a fire alarm, but clearly I need to get a staff member to put this fire out. There's no one around, so I make a fast trot up to the main office. As I quickly enter, I see the secretary talking to another student. So with a loud voice I say, Ms. Knight, there's a..." And that's when the assistant principal rounds the corner behind Ms. Knight while ripping into me about how we wait our turn in here and how I am being disrespectful and loud and I need to stand there and wait until I am called forward. Okay, and then I just stood there while Ms. Knight kept helping the other student as Mr. Evil. Assistant principal stood over watch in the corner like a bouncer. Finally, after a few minutes, it was my turn. I calmly walked up to the counter and said, Ms. Knight, the large trash can in the smoking area is on fire. The asked principal yells out, "What?" and then burst out of the room while Ms. Knight just gasped. I calmly turned around and walked out, and went back to class. So did they learn their lesson? Or were they the type to never admit fault? Love it. No room for emergencies, huh? I found a fire in my grade school. My friend had been hurt and had surgery and I stayed inside with him at lunchtime to take care of him and keep him company. Went to the bathroom and found a trash can on fire. Pulled the fire alarm and wheeled my friend to the exit on the opposite side of the building to go past the office. Fire marshal, head fireman there, somehow got it in his head since I found it. I said it took the teachers and principal a couple hours to set him straight. It turns out all the older kids knew who did it. He just had to ask. One time in high school I was walking by a bathroom and saw smoke coming out. I peeked in and saw that someone had set the trash can on fire. I then reported this to the nearest staff member. Later, I was brought into the principal for questioning as a suspect because I was seen coming out of the bathroom. Oh, there is one employee like that at every single school. You handled it perfectly. I hope you didn't get into trouble. Oh, I remember when high schools had smoking areas. In my school it was called the tobacco area. Possession of tobacco on school grounds outside of the smoking area was a major infraction, which more than a few parents pointed out was crazy. If you let students use tobacco, you have to let them have tobacco. Our principal couldn't figure out why anyone had a problem with the tobacco rules. But my high school handbook had another interesting rule. Guns were only allowed to be kept in a locked vehicle or locked in the gun rack in your vehicle. We have a bunch of families involved in agriculture in our area. If you are working a ranch or farm, you need a gun handy. Our state has a lot of snakes, so guns were allowed, but only in your car. I still have that old high school handbook and my kids were totally astounded when they read the rule about guns. I can just imagine that principal's facial expression, and it's great. My middle school had a fire in one of the boys' bathroom. Legit, the student who saw the fire tried to get a teacher, but he was stopped by another teacher for running in the halls. When TGE student tried to tell her about the fire, all she did was yell at the student and call the principal. The fire was discovered after smoke was billowing out and the heat could be felt. Ruined bathroom. but the student got a free gift card for his troubles from the teacher that stopped him. Reminds me of a joke in an Archie comic. Archie races to the principal to tell him his car is being stolen, and he gets mad about manners eventually he finds out that his car was stolen. By that point the car was gone. This is exactly like the assistant principal at the school I work at. I am an SA para. We had a student leave class and in the building. I caught him in the parking lot. This is obviously an unsafe thing to do, and I knew if we didn't address it, things would get worse and more unsafe. When I told the AP what happened, and my concern that the next time he might run into the very busy road, she brushed it off and said, "You caught him right. It's fine." Well, guess what happened the next day? Right. He ran into the street. Except this time it was the teacher chasing him, and the principal, who was 3 months pregnant at the time, and resource officer who were told and had to handle the situation. They were not happy. My father tells the exact same kind of story. Outhouse on fire. Adults insisting they finish their conversation first. Imagine looking into the face of a distressed, panicked, worried child and dismissing their concern as beneath you. So lame. We had something like this. I was in class and heard a crash and metal scraping and screeching. Kid runs in the building and, while in the hall, yells, "Shit, EY, yo, somebody," and another teacher came out of his class berating the kid for saying shit, saying he was going to take him to the office, and the guy, still yelling, says, "Cool. You think they'll give a fuck about the car that's in 2 other cars?" Quote. What is it about Tennessee and refusing to acknowledge that kids can't recognize or communicate emergencies? 5th grade science lab. Working with cobalt chloride. 1975. There were poison warnings all over its container. But one of my group stirs the solution and pops the straw into her mouth. I calmly said, "Get that out of your mouth, it's poison." Chick freaks and starts bawling. Teacher jerks me up by the arm, takes me outside the door and gives me a paddling. Next year, I'm messing around, waiting on my youth league basketball game, when I made a serious miscalculation and broke my wrist very visibly. I went to the concession stand, where the director is taking orders. "Miss K, excuse me. Wait your turn like everybody else." I waited. 10 to 15 minutes pass. My hand is sitting on top of my arm, and swelling by the minute. I silently try to get her attention again. She looks away, pointedly ignoring me. Finally, it starts dying down, but she's doing a quick cleanup. Not even sure how long it's been by now, but I'm feeling nauseated and lightheaded. I call out for her again. She barks something implying I'm being rude again, and then I matter-of-factly hold up my arm and say, "I think I broke my wrist." She snapped, and shit finally got serious. SMH. I was playing tetherball back in grade 3 and the guy the first was playing against fell and smashed his face on the metal pole. Both the big front teeth, long roots, popped out to the ground and he started to cry. I ran over to the noon our supervisor and she was talking to a student already. Same thing. "Wait your turn." I wait for like the longest 30 seconds in the world and then she goes in, "What do you want?" I just pointed and said, "Can you please help?" She gasped, but he still saved his teeth. Like the vine. Seems that assistant principals are the same as assistant managers. Just a different location. Either wannabes who haven't quite got there yet or has-beens who couldn't quite handle it. Is your name Karen Kilgariff from My Favorite Murder? Because almost the same thing happened to her. She set the bed on fire and her mom was on the phone and didn't want to be interrupted. OP's daughter https://aydot.caym-cdn.com/entries/icons/photos/000/043/disaster-girl.jpg. Faulty-towers.lol. I can only imagine your inner smirk of satisfaction as you wandered back to class. Epic. Like Willie in The Simpsons. I would have said, "Oh dear. Don't let an emergency get in the way of manners." Oh, well, your problem now, mate. See ya.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.